Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I wanted to show you my bullet journal setup for the month of March. Now before we hop into the main bullet journal, I did want to show you two of my previous attempts. Now the reason I wanted to show you guys these was to show the evolution of my bullet journal style and to give you a little bit of background about how I figured out what I wanted in my bullet journal going forward. Now, starting off with the year 2007, this is the Luxtrum 1917 in the color gray. Now, this is the bullet journal that was talked about the most in the Bujo community when I started to get into bullet journaling. And with this journal, I wanted to do all the beautiful spreads and add amazing designs to each page. And as I filled in this bullet journal, I realized that sitting down for 3 hours on a Sunday wasn't something that I wanted to do and was able to do. So it was already very overwhelming to try and keep up with what I saw on social media and the internet. And that resulted in this bullet journal becoming just a place where I practiced my hand lettering and did very little planning, and this one in a completely different direction. Now moving into my 2018 bullet journal, I used all the tips and the previous experience from my 2017 bullet journal to apply to this one. Now as you can see from my quote page, everything is very simple. It's just black, white, and gray, as well as my key page, and I really tried to keep this theme going throughout the journal. Now, I did get a little more creative with the month of February, and I still think it's simple where it does add a bit of an element, but it's not doing too much. But that changed with the month of March. I lost my focus about what I wanted to do, and I came out with this. Don't like this. But the calendar page was still fairly simple, but again, I didn't stick to my original plan. And I feel like I did kind of bring it back with the month of April. The entry page is the only thing that has color and everything else is really simple. But again, I didn't continue this as a bullet journal. I end up lettering in this one as well. And I also think at the time a bullet journal wasn't a necessary tool that I needed. And so going forward into my bullet journal for 2020, I took my previous experience with those two and applied it to this journal. And as you will see in the video, my bullet journal is very simple and very minimal compared to the other two. And that's something that I do love about the bullet journal, is you can customize it to something that works for you. And that's definitely something that I did. So let's get on into the main star of the show. So just some specs about the main bullet journal. This is a Moleskine dotted notebook, and I picked this up at Target. I did use my Dymo label maker here. This is like $12, I believe, off Amazon to put my name on the front. Now it doesn't stick very well, so I do find myself pushing it down more. So my tip will maybe put some super glue on the back of this just to hold it in place. All right, so this is my quote for 2020, and it says 2020 is all about taking it slow. Now I have this here because I get into this place with my work where I think, oh, I'm putting in the hours, why isn't anything happen? And I feel like everything should be coming like as soon as possible. Like I do this, I expect results right away, and that's just not how life is. You do take time, you put in the effort, and as you do that, things will come to you. So I have this here. This is my motto for 2020, just to take everything slow. And it really works with my whole bullet journaling because as you see in the previous one, I didn't really take that slow, and you see where that got me. So I'm really hoping to keep this going into my next one. And I did this with a stamp kit that I got from Amazon as well, which I'm gonna grab. So this is the stamp kit that I got from Amazon. I believe it was only $12. Now this kit comes with some lowercase letters, uppercase letters, as well as some numbers and some punctuation marks here. And I definitely love this. It's really simple and just easy to use, of course, since it's a stamp. I will say that some of the little stamp bits are a little crooked, but it doesn't bother me at all. And I picked up this Excel marked stamp stamp in black from Amazon as well. So I'll link these items down below for you guys to find in the description box, but I definitely recommend this little doodle. All right, so yeah, I use that stamp kit for these letters, and I don't mind the little edges of the stamps coming on my paper. I feel like it adds some texture and some character, and I think it does a little bit of design without overboard. So that is my quote page. So here is my goal page. I just have a short list here, and I did leave room in case I wanted to add anything. I used my stamps to add in the 2020. And for the text and the lettering, I did use my Muji pen in 0.38. These are definitely a popular pen in the bullet journal scene as well, but I use these every day in my bullet journal as well as work, and this is a great pen, and it comes in various colors as well, so I highly recommend this Muji pen. And on the next page I have my video ideas. I noticed after I stamped in video ideas that I have all this extra space up top. I'm not sure why I did that, but it doesn't bother me. I'll figure out something eventually to put up there. But yeah, I just have a list of videos and an extra page because you can never have too much space. And if you guys have any video ideas that you want to see, just drop them in the description box below and I can add them to my list. All right, so this is my March calendar. So I use my stamps in lowercase to put March at the top, and I left all of this empty. And I use my Muji pen as well to draw out the calendar as well as do the drop shadow border here. Now I don't know where my ruler is, so I had to improvise, and I used a piece of cardboard, which is a bad idea. It made my lines around this edge really bumpy, but it's not about perfection with the bullet journal. And I feel like that's what stops a lot of people from starting this, is trying to make it perfect and look like the art Instagram YouTubers out there who do bullet journals, and it doesn't have to be that way. But to fix my jagged lines, I did just make it a little bit thicker around the edges here to give a drop shadow, and when in doubt, add a drop shadow. And I just freestyled the rest of the lines because I realized that it would be too jagged with using my cardboard straps, and I don't mind the wiggliness of it. It just adds character. That's how I look at it. And I just wrote my YouTube subscriber count. And as I'm filming this, it's March 1st, so I just have 14 subscribers at this point, and I have 38 Instagram followers. And to the side, I do have video ideas that I could possibly use for next month. I have them still in pencil because, like I said, things change. So if I need to move something over here, it's easier to erase it and put it in pencil. And then I just have 2 of my friends' birthdays. But this is my very simple calendar overview here. It's nothing too fancy. And to do the little cross out, I did use my zebra mouth liners, and I love these colors. I think they're so beautiful. I use the gray, and they're super simple. And I do want to incorporate color into my bullet journal. I'm just not quite sure how I'll do that yet. Eventually I'll get there and figure out a nice, simple, minimal way to add color in without being too much. So here is a swatch of the mild liner colors. It is double-ended. It comes with a thicker and a thinner side, and then just a little swatch for the Muji pen. But I think they're beautiful colors. And this little journal here is a moleskin journal as well. Now the reason that I did want to start a bullet journal is because I use this to plan on my videos and just write everything down, and it was great, but I needed more space to plan. But I do keep this in my drawer at work just in case I need to jot anything down. This definitely comes in handy. But back to the start of the show. So my last page in my bullet journal is the favorite section, and I wanted to add this in that way at the end of the month I didn't have to scram my brain and run around my bathroom and pick everything up to see if this is something I love. So it would just be nice and easy to just add everything down in one little spot as I realized that I loved them this month. That way it's just easy to refer back to as the month goes on. And I do already have 2 items because I bought these at the end of February, and it was just nice and easy just to throw them in. That way I can talk about them in March or whenever I do a favorites video. But yeah, that's all I have there, as well as so far in my bullet journal. But there is one last thing that I would like to show you, and that is this little section back here. So this page here is to help filling out the bullet journal spread a lot easier. I just have the number of dots across and down, as well as the halfway points both directions, and then just the size of the calendar squares to use going forward. So I saw this page on Amanda Rachel Lee's channel and I thought it was brilliant. I believe she does have a few more things added to hers, and I might go back and look at that video to think about adding those as well. But for now, this is just all I need as I figure out what would work best for me in my bullet journal. I just, again, decided to take it slow. But that is all I have in my bullet journal. Again, it is super simple. It's way different than my past two bullet journals. And honestly, I'm so glad about that. I don't want to do too much and this end up being another journal that I just do random lettering in. So yeah, this is my bullet journal. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I set up and go about planning my bullet journal spread. But I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you want to see more bullet journal videos in the future. Drop any comments and suggestions down below about what's your favorite bullet journal YouTuber, or any tips and tricks that you have used to make your bullet journal more efficient for your lifestyle. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Stay sassy.